Back here in New York, the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump started with a hearing over alleged gag order violations again. Then came testimony from Keith Davidson, the lawyer who once represented Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, two women who had alleged sexual relationships with the former president. Davidson helped negotiate hush money deals for both of them with Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen. Trump's defense team has tried to distance the former president from those deals between Cohen and Davidson. If he didn't know about the deals, he would have no motive to falsify his business records to cover one of them up. But the jury was introduced to a new part of the story Thursday, a secret recording first made public in 2018, taken of Trump apparently being briefed on the plan to buy and bury McDougal's story. CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman joins me now. Katrina, what role did that, when that came out in 2018, that was a big deal, that recording. How did it play? What role did it play in the room there with the jury?
It felt significant for the jury to hear their voices saying those words, talking about how they had to set up a company to transfer the money. Cohen said he had talked to Alan Weisselberg about it. The number 150 was mentioned, so clearly this was related to the Karen McDougal deal. And the jury seemed quite riveted. They were looking at their screens where the transcripts were.
And this would be, for the jury, some of the first times Donald Trump has been in the room but not saying very much. And so they're hearing his voice on the recording, and yet he's sitting right there. Was there, that just seems like a real moment in the room.
It did feel significant because, yes, so far Trump has always been sort of behind the scenes, and his team has really worked to show that he wasn't directly involved in any of these dealings. You know, there were conversations between Davidson and Cohen or Pecker and Cohen, but now we're actually hearing Trump's voice talking about these deals.
And did the defense, which is to say Trump's lawyers, did they poke holes in Davidson's case? Did they address this recording?
They definitely tried to the recording came out later, actually, with a different witness. But with Davidson, they tried to undermine his credibility, and they went through this whole cast of his former clients, reality TV show star Tila Tequila, Charlie Sheen, Hulk Hogan all came up. And they were trying to show this pattern of him getting settlements for celebrity clients, and they really were trying to say that he had a history of extortion, which he pushed back on, but they're definitely trying to change the portrayal of Davidson for the jury.
So basically impeach the witness, not necessarily take on the claims he's making directly. Is that a fair way to characterize it?
They were also taking on claims that he made directly. For example, they brought up a conversation he had where he, I believe, said to Cohen that he thought they would lose leverage for the deal after the election because he said Stormy didn't think that Trump was actually going to win. So that really is counter to the prosecution's case where they're saying that they were trying to help him win the election. Davidson actually said that that wasn't something she had told him, but he did admit to saying it.
Take us back then now to this gag order conversation. I thought the gag order thing was figured out. Trump was fined. Is this why are we at the gag order thing again?
So we have more gag order violations, 4 more that were discussed today. And the prosecution is again asking for these $1,000 fines. The judge has made it clear that jail could be on the table. But for now, the prosecution says they don't want to distract from the case. And they know that throwing Trump in jail is just going to create so much chaos. So this hearing was about a few different ones. One was related to Michael Cohen, one was about the jury, and one was quite odd because it was about David Pecker, the former witness and National Enquirer publisher, but it was actually Trump saying that David Pecker was very nice. And what the prosecution said is that it shows Trump can use carrots and sticks. You know, he can be nice to you or he can tear you apart. And the judge admitted he's actually not so worried about that one, but he did seem very concerned about one where Trump was mentioning the jury because he really cares about the integrity of this process. He doesn't want them to feel threatened.
And there have been some jurors who have expressed concerns about that.
Absolutely, during jury selection.
Exactly. Wonderful. Katrina Kaufman, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.